Hey everyone, how you doing? It is October 30th. Um, and I just wanted to share a dream that I had the other day. And I know Halloween is approaching and so is Day of the Dead. So the veil is very thin during this time. And the dream I had, I kind of see it as a download or a dream or an epiphany, whatever word you're comfortable with in accepting this message or not, right? It is choice. But I am a licensed clinical social worker. You guys know this already, or if you don't, now you do. I'm a therapist, and in part of my work, the majority of my work, I work with people that have been impacted by trauma. And I have been impacted by trauma myself. That's why I'm so passionate about it, right? And part of the work that I do is help people reclaim their power in turning their pain into purpose. Okay. And the purpose is self love. Okay. Because one of the things I discovered last year through my spiritual awakening is that self love is the key to wellness. Okay. When we are doing okay, when we are taking care of ourselves, then everything else just sort of falls into place because we carry the energy, and the energy that we put out is the one that is reflected back to us. Okay. And I hope I don't lose you with this. It's going to be a kind of a long one. Okay. But I am kind of prefacing what my dream was because I think it will make sense. Okay. As I explain it to you. So hang on. Okay. Stay with me. Um, like I said, through the course of therapy, okay, therapy it is turning pain into power because we are learning how to navigate ourselves after a difficult situation. It is reclaiming ourselves as a person, as a woman, as man, as whatever it is that we are working toward. Because usually when we find ourselves in a therapy couch, it's because something has happened to us that kind of has thrown us off balance. Okay. And part of my work again is to help people kind of reconnect with their own power, with their own wisdom, um, so that they can then navigate the world and as themselves. Okay. And not as the person that was hurt, not as the person that was a victim, but as a thriver, not just a survivor, but as a thriver and living their lives to the best of their ability. Okay. But as their genuine selves. At least that's my goal. Okay. In therapy. When I see clients to help them reclaim their power so that they can be their best self. So going back to this dream, uh, and that I had the other night, and I'm sharing with you because I'm very being pulled to share. Okay. And what I mean by that is like I feel like I need to share it because hopefully will bring clarity to you. But the dream was that there was this different levels. Okay. There was different levels, kind of think like a video game. There was different levels. And through these levels, there was me, right? Or people, let's say. And the clarity that came through the dream was that in order for us to ascend and move up levels, okay, we have to do certain things. But the two things that were present, that were the key to be able to move up, okay, to move up levels and to ascend to a higher consciousness, to wellness, to, again, whatever language it is that you want to use is the same thing, okay? Um, but to be able for us to reach self-actualization, okay, in psychology that's what that's called, when we reach the highest level, okay, of self-actualization, um, when we are our best selves, our best genuine selves, it is when we accept and give unconditional love to others, but also to ourselves. So we go back to the self-care piece, okay, which is what, an epiphany I had like a year ago, okay, that everything goes back to self-care. So why is this important? I think it's important because I think as we all are navigating this chaotic world, we forget that the power of change is also within us. And I know there's so much chaos and so much many atrocities that are happening. Okay. But when we start with ourselves, like think about it. Okay. Even if the people that are causing the harm, if they were truly okay, okay, if they were truly in their best self, if they were truly taking care of themselves, then they will be able to provide unconditional love, not just to themselves, but to everyone else. So in order for us to level up in a higher consciousness or in our well-being, we have to share unconditional love, like I said, not just to ourselves or to others, right? But then also to the collective, right? So we have to collectively, we have to give each other unconditional love. And all these things are happening, even with like the SNAP benefits, okay? It is pushing us to make that happen, okay? It's not pleasant, okay? Because yeah, I want people to have food. I want people to have somewhere to live. I want people to have enough money to pay, their rent, their bills, their basic needs, and not having to depend on anyone to do so. Okay. Because we all should be able to collectively make that happen. But we are doing that. So when you are paying attention to what's going on in the world, not just the negative stuff, but how we are responding, how we as a collective are responding to the crises that are being thrown our way, you actually see that there is unconditional love, right? And it's beautiful. Communities are coming together to feed the hungry. And we are seeing that there is hunger, right? The veil is no longer there to keep us from seeing it. We see it. So I share my dream because I think it will bring clarity to some of you that we have some work to do within ourselves in order to help the world heal. Okay. So I hope that, not I hope, I like for you to kind of sit with my dream, right? With this message of self love and unconditional love for others, but also for ourselves, and how you are doing that already. So, how are you taking care of yourself? And how are you taking care of others? But really, how are you providing yourself self care? And how are you showing yourself unconditional love? And how is that being reflected out to the collective? And if you are not doing that, then how can you do that? Okay. I have plenty of tips there in my feed. So go look at my old posts there so that you can follow along any of the different mental health campaigns that are there to help you along in your self growth and loving yourself and giving yourself kindness and giving yourself unconditional love, no matter what you look like, what has happened in your life, choices that we have made that maybe we could have done better. But the key to us healing is that we have to heal ourselves, okay? And give ourselves unconditional love and self care so that it's reflected back out to the universe. And the power is within us. So go take care of you. And that way we are taking care of each other, okay? Have a great day.